I'm Papa Wall, The Wall, whatever people want to call me these days. Typically go by either of those. And I main Yoshi. People kind of know me for playing Yoshi just a little bit. Just a wee bit. Yeah. Ooh, well, Smash itself was, I don't know, I'm an older guy. You know, I've been, like, I'm like one of the older guys in the scene, so obviously I was around when, like, 64 came out, and 64 was my jam. You best believe. My dad came home one day, and I had an N64, and I got real sick when I was young, and the 64 first came out, and I got to sit home and just play Mario Kart for, like, 2 weeks, and so he knew that I was super into it, so then he went out and found Smash Brothers and bought it, and, man, I just sat there, like, me and my sister, we would just whoop each other up 24/7, just playing Smash Bros. 64 all the time, and it was, you know, transition from that, and then Melee came out, played that all the time with my friends, then Brawl, and then now this one. Actual competitive, though, I never really touched anything competitive until it was January of 2015. So it's been like a little over 2 years, like 2.5 almost at this point. And that's only with Smash 4. Like I never did Melee, Brawl, any of that competitive. And that was because on a weird situation, I had moved in because I just got out of the military in 2015. And I moved down here with an old friend of mine that I went to high school with. And so after moving in with him, we were like, yeah, we need to, like, you know, get some stuff. We need to furnish the place, get some fun video games and everything, because we just kind of played on our computer. So he was like, yeah, like, I miss the Dreamcast, dude. And I was like, dude, I miss the Dreamcast, man. There's, like, Gauntlet Legends and Sonic Adventure and all these good games. So he was like, dude, we need to go find one. And I was like, all right, yeah, we're going to do that. So I went down to a Games Plus store that was off 290 where I used to live at in Cyprus. And yeah, so I went over to Games Plus, and I was like, oh man, like, I wonder, you know, they have all these old school systems, and they have all the old school games, and do you guys have a Dreamcast? But when I walked in the store, plastered on the wall was, hey, there's a little Smash Bros. Thing tournament going on this Friday or whatever, Saturday, whatever day it was. And I was like, oh, dude, I bet I could whoop some kids. Man, I'm gonna take some kids' money, and I'm gonna make people salty. I was like, yeah, I'm all about that. So I told him, I was like, hey, there's a little tournament thing going on. I was like, you should come out with me, dude. We go watch this. And I go out there. And the tournament itself, like, it had the most awful rules. Like, it was literally, you know, 3 stock. I think it was like 5 minutes. So everyone would time you out, and it was best of 3, no best of 5s, and it was single elimination. So if you got knocked out, you got knocked out. And if it went to time and it's sudden death, you actually had to play out the sudden death, and the winner of that won. Period. So you're like, I showed up to that tournament. I played one dude who was pretty good, and I lost. And I met D-Scro there. And then I ended up meeting Krebs, and I played Krebs in like one of the, or no, I didn't lose to that guy. I lost to Krebs because it was single elimination. So I beat that really good dude, and I was like thinking like, yeah, man, I'm doing really good. And then Krebs used Shulk on me and annihilated me. And I was like, oh my God, like I just lost to this kid. Oh, this sucks, whatever. And he was like, hey, dude, you know, there's a scene. You should come out to our tournaments. And I was like, okay. And so I showed up from that day after meeting those guys, went to like TGC1 after that. And then from there it was met Zyro and met SB and all these other guys and started going to tournaments. That's the thing is, I have been to those major events. People just don't realize it because I don't get on stream. Because I never get stream time because nobody likes Yoshi. So yeah, I mean like G4, I was there. Singles and doubles. We made 25th in doubles. We took out Brood and Jan from Japan. I teamed with Raptor. So it was the double Yoshi team. And we went game 3 last stock with Como and Renai. So we almost like took out like some of the best teams there and everything. We ended up beating Raffaex and Rimsey as well. And then we lost to Locust and Captain L. So I mean, we lost to Como Renai and Locust Captain L, like 2 really, really good teams. So that was, I mean, we still had a really good performance there. And then singles, I made like 49th. I lost to Zanotto and Mr. E. Or no, I made 65th. Yeah, I made 65th losing to him because there was only one Yoshi that outplaced me, which was Snoop, because he beat Big D. Which, I mean, I was like, oh, you had to play DDD? I was like, well, you kind of got a good win there. It's like, he's a good player. Everyone knows about him, but he went DDD, and I'm like, Yoshi's not going to lose a DDD, dude. Just use your brain. That's it. And he beat him, and so he outplaced me, and then it was me, and then there was like a couple of, there's like Raptor and some other dudes like Firefly. Firefly beat Zinyu there, and winners and knocked them to losers. So there's some Yoshi representation. But like I was there. I was at EVO last year. I was at G3 as well. I went last year. Not going this year. This year I'm trying to do more stuff to get more exposure at least, or to go to the bigger tournaments and hopefully do well at something. Because like last year I did go to Xanadu and I did really well. And then I went to 2G Mexico and I did really well. And then most of my locals have been pretty good. Like Battlegrounds 1, I won that. Battlegrounds 2, I made like 3rd place. I didn't go to 3. So it's like this year I'm going to do Battlegrounds 4. I already did G4. I'm going to CEO. I'm going to Big House. I'm going to SSC. I've got like all of those in the plans at a minimum. And then later in the year, when I see what vacation time I have left, I'll see if I can go to more. But that's the hardest part, man. Like I got a job now, and I only get so much vacation time a year, and I don't want to spend it all on Smash because I gotta have a life. Dude, he's low tier. People hate it when I say that, but it's so good. Well, when I started the game, so like that first tournament that Krebs bought me at, I played Captain Falcon. And I was originally Captain Falcon. Yeah, dude. I mean, I played Melee all the time in 64. Like, I always played Falcon. And, like, you can ask a friend of mine, Chris, that comes out to my D&D stuff, and I go over to him tomorrow for D&D, and I play him in Melee, and I'm bopping him with Falcon and Melee. Like, I'm just all over his chili with that character. But, like, any other character I suck with. So I always played Falcon. So when I came to 4, I was like, I'm going to play Falcon. And then after getting bought by him, and then I went to TGC 1, and I lost a knife round 1 on his Link, and I was like, I just lost to a Link. Like, I already know, like, every Smash game, this character's been trash. I should not have lost to this character, and he whooped me. Like, not even a contest, he whooped me. And then I went to losers, and I only beat like 2 people, and then I lost to a DDD. And I was like, I just lost a DDD as Falcon, dude. Like, screw this character, I'm done. So I said, screw this character. Went through the tier list, and I was looking at it, and Japan at that time had Yoshi at like number 3, because it was like Sheik, Diddy, Yoshi, or something like that. And that was back a lot before the pre-nerfs and everything. So I looked at that, and I was like, oh man, like, I was like, I don't want to play Sheik and, you know, Diddy. I don't want to have to get Bengay for my hands or something, like, you know, curing arthritis, pressing all them buttons. But I was like, Yoshi, really? I was like, dude, I love Yoshi, man. So I tried him out, and I was like, holy crap, this character's like, he's really good. And people don't understand this. Like, we don't have any Yoshis in our scene. I don't see any Yoshis on tournaments. I'm like, why does nobody play him if he's supposed to be 3? So I just picked him up. And I started playing him from there. I did like somewhere in the odd range of 1,000 4 Glory matches. I went and bought me a LAN adapter and was like, I'm just going to grind 4 Glory after work every day, because I had nobody that I knew to play with, because nobody knew me back then. So I just grinded 4 Glory, just 24/7 playing that. And then eventually, like, as I started going to more and more tournaments, like, the first time I went to Yoshi with my tournament, I ended up losing to KJ and Gnes game 3 last hit, last stock versus both of them. So it was like I was already fighting the people that were considered better in the scene that are old Brawl vets. And, like, I was almost going even with them, and they were like, holy crap, like, who's this Yoshi dude? And then from there, it was like, boom, 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 boom. All of a sudden, like, I beat Karna, beat Trella, beat all these other people, and they were like, what the heck, Yoshi? And that was it. Just go to tournaments, dude. Like, after the 4 Glory stuff, like, I wouldn't suggest going to 4 Glory to get better. But for me, it was like, I just need to learn all these stupid characters, because there's so many, so play against them, and just figure out what my character can do. And after I figured that out, I was like, cool, now just go to tournaments and work on the mind games, work on, you know, outplaying people in neutral and stuff like that, and that's all I did. I don't really care for the title because it starts drama. Because then if you say you're the best, and somebody says, no, I'm the best, or no, this guy's the best, and then it goes from there. No. If we were going to do a serious consideration, Sky Williams is not the best Yoshi. It would be between myself, Raptor, Dren, or Seth, or possibly even Yoshidora from Japan. Like, those are the 5 that are always in contention as being the best 5 current Yoshis. And then from there, people would either say it's me because I always win locals and I go out to nationals and I'm always the highest placer, or tying with Raptor. And the few times that I've played Raptor, I've annihilated him. So they're like, okay, the Wall's the best one. And Zero said it that one time in his video. And so everyone was like, the Wall's the best. But then, you know, all of a sudden, some of the other Yoshis, like Snoop coming up too. I wouldn't still consider Snoop as near the top threshold of Yoshis, but he's still really good. Like, I'll give him where credit's due. He's really good. But then, like I said, out of those Yoshis, because, you know, Dren's always whooping up on Hawaii, and then Seth was like, I think Seth took a set off Pug West or something like that once, so they were like, oh crap. And then Raptor beat John Numbers finally, and he's been doing pretty good up in the Northeast, although he just got unranked. Like, he used to be ranked there, and now he's not even on the PR. So it really, I mean, PRs are PRs because it's more opinion-based stuff, so it may not be totally factual, but I take it for what it is. That's what I see in their scene. Just like if somebody looks at mine and they see I went from number 1 to number 4, well, he must be a lot worse now, when it's like, you probably should look at it as that maybe everybody else just got better, is what I think. Like a better outlook on it. Oh man, dude, I get so many requests from people just like on Discord, DMs, YouTube comments and stuff like that, because I made a couple of YouTube videos that were like teaching you how to do grabs and side B stuff like that, and those are good videos. The grab stuff is really important for people to at least learn, and then the side B stuff was really just off the wall, because nobody's going to use side B on Yoshi willingly, and it's a bad move. So I kind of just made the video for no reason, but it does display all the tech you can do with it, so it's there. And people tell me all the time that they want me to do more, and it's like, I'd love to, except that I'm lazy. So so I honestly, it's like, I've got time, but whenever I go home from work, I want to play Diablo 3, or I got to work on D&D stuff, or I want to just sit and watch Vinesauce streams or something. Like, I got other stuff that I just want to do more, because making one of those videos is work when I don't get anything from it except for a couple of thank yous and then people bitching that they want more. So it's a never-ending cycle where if I started one, then I got to do more, and then I got to do more, and it just continues from there. And it's like, when I find it necessary, if I have enough people ask me about one singular topic, they're like, dude, we can't find it anywhere, we don't have any information on this, can you just tell us like about this stuff? That's whenever I go and I'm like, I'll take a couple hours a night and I'll just make a video or something, you know, just whip something up. Dude, you gotta be enthusiastic, man. Oh, whoa! You gotta talk all crazy. I mean, you have to be joyful. Like, you don't want to go to video and be like, "Yeah, man, I'm the wall. I'm just gonna, you sound like Sylvester Stallone. You know, hey, Adrian, I'm gonna teach you how to play Yoshi." You know, nobody would want to watch that. It'd be stupid later. So, like, you gotta have, like, it's part of the internet personality stuff. I mean, it's the reason why people like Sky Williams are so popular, is because he has such a high-pitched voice, but also a very it's an exciting voice. It's something that you listen to and you're like, you know, oh, crap, I wanna watch, like, this is good. Okay, let me sit up and watch this real quick and pay attention or laugh when he's making jokes or whatever. And it's because you just sound good. So, I mean, you gotta make yourself sound good, or else people aren't gonna want to watch it. And those videos are lengthy. So I gotta put some effort into it to make it look and sound nice, or else people are gonna be like, oh, screw this video, man, it's not worth it. He's bad. He's bad. Yoshi's bad. The thing I tell everyone is that Yoshi's out of shield options are booty. So, like, people land on my shield and they hit me with something, and if I'm facing away from them, the only thing I can do is either F-tilt or jump nair. And if I do either of those, like F-tilt, it's frame 5, it's quick, but you also have drop shield frames if I didn't power shield, so then you're talking frame 11 if I do that. Or jump nair, which at minimum is frame 9 because of jump squat frames, and then the three frame nair. So that's 9 to 11 frames when somebody hits me, when you have people like Sheik or Diddy that can hit your shield and do another attack before you can even do one of those attacks. So at that point, it's shield pressure, and there's literally no option I can do that is safe. So I have to just sit and shield. And then the other problem is that when Yoshi shields, his hitbox becomes smaller, and then when you drop shield, you become bigger. So if I sit there and hold shield, and then all of a sudden I drop and try to do something, and they just throw a lone attack out, there's a good chance they're going to smack me out for it. So the shield is really, really, really bad. And then Yoshi's recovery is always a problem. I see other people struggle with it. I don't struggle with it as much recovering myself, because I've done it so much now, where like you can stall with eggs and then you can kind of jump back. But some of the smarter players have started to learn, like, okay, they've started to use eggs, maybe they're going to jump now, grab and do a grab release, brawl style, almost like Cypher Tech on Snake, and you grab release them, they die. Or they footstool you in the jump, and then you die, which can be at 0%. Like, it doesn't matter what percent you're at, so it's like, they don't even have to play the game versus you if they don't want to. They can just wait at the ledge, and then you go off and do one wrong thing, and all of a sudden you just lost. So, it's a character that struggles like that, and Zero's video highlights a lot of the good things with a little bit of false information thrown in. Like, yeah, we do have frame 3 jab and frame 3 nair, frame 5 up air that's like really disjointed and really good. Those are good moves, and if you land them, yeah, you can get crazy combos and do all kinds of fun stuff. But the fact is that there's no safe way to do that. So being safe in this game is what is priority, and that's why characters like Sheik and Diddy and Rosa are so good, because they can do things from such extended ranges that are quick. So that's why Yoshi's bad. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is what you wanted me for. Yeah. So the community as a whole? Houston, I'll start Houston. So we'll start from the city and then we'll build it out. Houston as a scene, I think it's okay. I'm the kind of person though where, like, I hate memes, and I hate people that just constantly do dumb things to try to, like, oh, I'm being funny and I'm being cool and hip with the kids and stuff. So, like, when I see things like Krebs dressing up today as Turkey Nuts and making an announcement about a new TO and everything, meanwhile, I'm PMing him about things that are super serious, and I'm like, hey, can you tell the TO for me? Because, like, this is going to actually matter for today and everything. He's like, yeah, I'll make sure to let him know. And then he shows up today and it's actually him, and I'm like, I was being serious with you, dude. You could have been real with me for one moment, dude. Like, that's all it takes. Be an adult here. So, stuff like that, like, makes me mad, and I hate when people meme up all the time. But the scene itself, I think it's a lot of just unnecessary drama that goes on. Like, everyone knows about the Houston drama and all the bullshit that we talk to each other, and it gets really dumb, but it's all just Facebook fabricated stuff. And that's why, like, for the longest time, I just left the Facebook groups, and it was like, dude, my life is better. You know, I'm enjoying everything. And it's like, I log into Facebook and I wouldn't see everything Smash related. I wouldn't see stupid memes from kids. I wouldn't see people arguing about a PR list or whatever, because that's what Houston is famous for now. So it's like, I would ignore the scene, honestly, as a way to make myself happier. But then at the same time, I was like, I kind of want to be in the page, because that's where all the good information is. Like, that's where, okay, the tournaments that are happening and, you know, what's going on, and if there's free tickets or what, you know, stuff that's happening, or people that want to... Yeah, you want to be informed, and then like the people that want to fiend or the people that want to go practice, and then you can get a hold of them this way. Whereas instead of like randomly DMing everyone who's like, hey, you want to come over and play? Hey, you want to come over and play? Like, it's so much easier just to do it in a group and ask and stuff. So I was like, eventually I kind of caved back in and just went back into it, and I've relegated myself to not commenting on anything, not saying a single thing, and I just kind of glance over the post, and if there's nothing that interests me, then I kind of back away from it at that point. Nope. I don't do anything with any post because I don't want my name anywhere on that page, because the second my name gets on that page, people want to harass the shit out of me. Exactly. People want to harass me and try to like, they meme me on purpose because like, oh, he's an old man and he gets all mad at memes, so I'm going to make him mad and then he's going to rage on me and it's going to be funny, and I'm just like, kill yourself. So then I tell them like, no, don't meme on me. Like, I want to be an adult here. So that's why I left the pages. I'm back on them now. And people are going to see this video and be like, oh, I was on the pages now? Yeah, on the Hell page, I just made a post that said, you know, hello, my children. And I just posted up a Yoshi picture, and that was it. And I was like, just letting you know that I'm here. And everyone's like, oh, shit, he's back. And that's it. Just letting people know that I'm there and enjoying it. And, yeah, using the page as a utility rather than social media. I use it as a tool. I don't use it as a way to kill my time because I find that useless. So the Houston scene, it's okay though. Like that part of Houston I think is terrible. Like all the memes and the Facebook and all that stuff, I hate it. But people in person are awesome. Like, I love hanging out in the scene. Like, you meet people in tournament, and they're always like, you know, hey, dude, what's up, man? Hey, we're chilling and everything. Like Deluxe will shit-talk you endlessly on Twitter and Facebook. And then you'll see him in person, and he'll be like, hey, what's up, man? Hey, how you going? Like, and everything's hunky-dory. It's like they just ignore that all of that just happened, and all of a sudden you're best buds again. So it's like, it gets weird at moments, too, where you're kind of like, I thought I hated this guy. What's going on here? And then you're like, I'm cool with him, I guess, whatever. And you kind of make up for it. So things in person are totally chill. Like, after these tournaments, usually we'll go to, like, Dots Cafe or something, and we all sit down with a group of, like, 20 people, and we eat and just BS and you know, do stuff, and we all meet up. Like, I have a couple of people that come over to my house during the weeks, and we play games and stuff. Like, we were playing Guitar Hero last night, you know, yeah, just hooking up the old stuff and having fun. It's like, you can still do that with people. Like, this is a social environment. So, I mean, we're not all here just to play, you know, Smash Brothers. Gotta get competitive, make money. No, just have fun, dude. It's a video game, so have fun, and then the people you meet in the community, have fun with them. That's what it's for. So, yeah, that's the Houston scene, I think. The rest of Texas in general, I think our skill level's hugely underrated by a lot of the people in the world because they don't watch our scene, because our streams are bad. We have really bad commentary, and the quality is usually pretty bad. So people don't ever look in like, oh, you know, I can't wait for that Houston Smash 4 tournament to start up so I can watch the stream. Nobody really knows that. Besides that, they're all streamed on different addresses. So it's like you'd have to know 7 different Twitches in order to get onto all these streams and see everything. So people really don't understand like all the stuff that goes on in Texas. And there's like, you know, well, Megafox wins all his weeklies, but he's not really that good. And it's like, but you don't know because you haven't seen him go to anything because he doesn't travel. So Texas has a problem with traveling as number one. But then as number two, I think that we're a lot better than people give us credit for. Now, are we better than this region or X region or Y region? Who knows at this point? Because everybody's always getting better at every time. And, like, you know, you had people like Waddy, who almost like, what, a year ago, people were just like, oh, it's just Waddy Rob. Like, he's a good player, but he's whatever. And now he's, like, taking out top names and destroying people. And you're like, oh, you know. Yeah, and you're like, well, Waddy's actually really good. And so, like, stuff like that happens, and all of a sudden, like, that entire scene now is just raised up on another tier because they have another good player in their scene. Like, now you have Waddy and Pinkfresh and Remzy and all those guys up there. So it changes based on how everything goes. But Texas as a scene in general, memey, very memey. The whole Discord, super memey. People just love making jokes and stuff, and they always goof around. But I like everybody, really. There's only a couple of people that kind of get on my nerves every now and then, and with those people, I just don't talk to them because it's like, why deal with it then at that point? Yeah, hang out with your friends and hang out with the people that you like. You're not going to like everybody, and everybody's not going to like you. So that's life. That's a hard thing to explain to people because I think it's different for everyone. And so it's not like I could explain how I do it and have it work for somebody else. But for me, in the mind game thing, for me, it's a memory game because I have a really good memory and I'm really good at kind of like flash memorizing things. So what I do during games is I'll usually just count options. So I'm sitting there and like whenever I put somebody at the ledge and I'm like, okay, they did neutral get up, that's one. And then I count their next one, okay, they did jump get up, that's one. And okay, they did neutral get up again, that's 2 neutral get ups. Okay, now they did this. And I sit there and I tally up the options, and then as they do it, I'm thinking of, okay, what's the most likely percent they're going to do this option, and then I just instantly do the punish right as they're going to take their option. So sometimes it looks like, you know, they do something, and I have the perfect read, and it's lined up, and it hits them, and they're like, dude, that read was sick, and it's like, it was mostly me just counting, and I made a guess. So it's kind of like, It's like that volleyball anime with that guest monster dude that's in the front with the red hair, and he's just like guessing where the ball's gonna be, and he just like appears there and then beats it. And I'm basically just doing that. I'm just making really educated and like numbers-based guesses, looking at stuff. And so with that, it's like after you learn mechanically how to operate your character to like the perfect extent. So for a lot of people, it's not a matter of them getting better at mind games. They need to learn how to play their character better with the controller in their hand. Some people, it's because they use a jank controller like Elyoshi using a Wiimote, and I tell them so many times, just get any other controller, please. But I mean, you can use a Wiimote nunchuck, you can use a Pro controller, and you can use a GameCube controller. Those are fine. Those are all good controllers. Wiimote sideways, DK bongos, probably not. So I tell them first, get on the right controller, and then learn how to play your character using that controller perfectly. Like if you want to do a perfect pivot up tilt right here, practice it until you are not going to mess it up, so you know how to do everything mechanically. Once you have everything mechanically down, then you work on the mind games. And that's why you saw other people that were like Void and everyone that would just sit there in lab and training mode just doing perfect pivots across the stage and finding out that there's 2 different distances of perfect pivots you can do. And he's like, okay, well I can do a short one and then a long one or something and then do this. And once you have that down and you understand it, then you can apply it to your game of, okay, well, now I know that they're going to go here, so I want to put myself over here, and you can actually execute it properly. Because I think the big problem some people have that I see is they also get the reads, but then they kind of flub up the input a lot of the time. And so then you look at it and you're just like, oh man, they had the read, they had that was smart, but they screwed up. And so it's a 2-tier thing, I think, honestly, because like for me as a player, that's why I did all those matches on For Glory, and that's why I did all of those tournaments where I went to every tournament every week, was just perfecting my tech skill. Like whenever I used to play Yoshi, people can attest to this, I used to SD all the time when doing egg throws. I would go to toss an egg and then I'd turn into an egg roll off stage and I would just die. Used to do it all the time. Good luck finding me doing it now, because I've practiced it and, you know, become an expert at throwing that egg so much that, like, if I want an egg to go somewhere, I'm going to make it go that way. And the angles I do are ridiculous. And that's why people look at it and they're like, this egg toss, that was crazy. How did he get it to do that? And it's like, because I have put in the time and effort to, you know, master that. And so that's what comes first. And then secondly is just learning to read your opponent. And third is BMing and just getting in their head. You know, you piss them off and then they do dumb things and then you just keep pissing them off. And then that's why like people have seen it all the time. And like people watch videos of me playing and they'll call me just the biggest asshole. They're like, oh, the wall's a fucking asshole. Look at him, he's taunting again and da da da. I'm doing it because I'm trying to get in their head and I want them to get pissed off. And I've had this happen to a couple of players where like I've taunted them so bad. I've had people throwing controllers after games and doing all kinds of stuff, like, you know, Mr. Concon versus what's his name over there in California. I forget who it was. Yeah, K9. When K9 and Concon happened and like they're both yelling at each other mid-match and he's like telling him, no, don't move the monitor, and then like he throws his controller after he loses, like that kind of stuff, like that's huge and that can play into your game. Like those two kind of players, I think they're so used to their rage that it fuels them. So like, oh yeah, I'm mad, I'm pissed, and they're gonna do better. But a lot of these people in these scenes don't realize that, you know, like somebody will do that to them. And I try not to do it to my like lower level players. So, you know, I'm used to fighting people. Like my round 2 match or round 3 match every week is usually someone that's not that great. Like they're a medium level player, and I know it's a free win for me, so I don't BM them. I don't taunt them, I don't hump the ground, I don't do all that twerking bullshit. I don't do any of that stuff to them because I'm like, I can just beat them. And then afterwards, usually they'll be like, oh, do you have any advice? And I just kind of give them advice. And then as I get to the higher level players like Deluxe or BC or this guy or something, then I'll start taunting and twerking on the ground and just doing dumb shit everywhere. And then they start getting mad, so then they start getting real aggressive, and then you just take advantage of it and win. And I'm like, why would I not do that? Like, why you want me to just be all like, oh, I hope you have a good game, blah, blah, blah. And I'll just look at people and I'll be like, man, fuck you. I don't care. Like, I'm an a-hole, and I know that, and I play with it, and it's fun. It's fun. Nobody can ever say that it is not fun to make someone salty and throw their controller until you have done it. Because when you make someone salty and they throw their controller, you feel so good. You feel so good, dude. It really does. I don't think I could honestly ever be top 15 PGR if I stayed with Yoshi. I think I'd be able to make it into the bottom end of it, so probably in like the 50s to 35s at best, if I had like some really good national showings and beat like a whole bunch of good players and they're like, oh crap, he's worth it. Then I could maybe squeeze my way on there. But I think just, number one, the level of practice I have here in Texas and Houston, it's not up to par compared to other scenes. So other scenes are out progressing us. And like that just slows us down in general to the meta whenever you travel. Some of the tournaments here are still 3-stock, so people get the complete wrong mindset whenever they play 3-stock and then switch over to 2-stock, and they don't actually switch over how they have to play in order to be well at the game. And then Beyond that, what would I want to do? I mean, if I could have it my way, I'd be the best. I'd be the best. Nobody would beat me. You know, I'd be zero. Whatever. Great. Making money and living off of doing Smash. That'd be awesome. I'd love to play a video game as my life. Even if it became work, I don't care. It would still be fun to me. But I have a really good job right now that I don't want to drop for something like this. Because even if I had a top-tier sponsor and somebody that gave me benefits and all this kind of stuff, they probably still wouldn't pay me as much as I'm making right now to work 40 hours a week. So I would kind of rather work 40 hours a week, and I keep this as just a hobby to do for fun, make a little bit of money on the side, and just enjoy with my friends. And so I don't make a huge deal out of it. And I mean, I still practice every now and then. Like, I still invite people over, like yesterday, and we played some Smash outside of Guitar Hero. And we'll practice every now and then. And I still try myself, you know, try my heart out in tournaments and everything. But at some points, like, if I feel like it, I'm just like, you know what, I lost this and I played really bad. Today's not my day. Screw it. And I'll just kind of give up. And it's like, there's no big point to me. Like, oh, if I go down on the PR, I don't care. I was number 1. I'm number 4 now. I don't care about PRs and rankings and things like that. So it's like, okay, whatever you think I'm at, that's great. But then if I show up to a tournament and I whoop your ass, then you can't say that anymore. So cool. No shout-outs to Jern because he didn't shout me out in his video. I watched it and I was like, oh, who's he gonna shout out? Oh, he didn't shout me out, but he named a whole bunch of other players. I see you, dog. No, that's fine. And anti-shout-outs to TTN. Anti-shout-outs. Anti-shout-outs. The new level. Just all the players in the scene, like, they're all cool, man. I love hanging out with them, playing video games and everything. Even just sitting around talking and just enjoying ourselves, like out at a, you know, at a restaurant or something. Just people are cool. I like hanging out with people. I'm a big people person. In case you couldn't tell, I love to talk and hang out with people. It's fun. And yeah, that's about it. Just shout out to everyone, bro. Shout out to you for making these videos, bro.